morning, friends. It is sunrise, and it is a bit windy, and the ocean is a bit rough. But here we are again, and hoping that the sun is going to begin to come up behind us in its normal, beautiful way. But you know what? Hopeful it'll come up. It will come up. That's what it does. That's what it always does. Our view of it is what varies, not the sun itself, which I think is pretty apt because, especially in the United States, the last, depending on your point of view, 4 years, few days have been intense. And so much depends on your point of view. So much depends on, from which side of the aisle you're looking, or from what color skin you're looking out of, or from where you live, from who your family is. All of that varies between us. But it doesn't change the truth. It doesn't change that the sun still comes up, whether we can see it or not, whether it's windy and cloudy, or whether it's bright and clear. And it just has me thinking about reconciliation and what that might look like. Yesterday, after the big announcement of the next president, I found myself going to social media and, finding the most prodding, snarky comments I could make. And then I listened to the president-elect's speech. And I was called out because part of what he said was that this is a time to heal, to stop demonizing, to stop dehumanizing, to stop the culture of point and laugh, of winner loser. And I commit to do that. I can only commit for me. Me and my house are going to do it different. So what does different look like? Well, I can tell you it looks like less antagonizing Facebook posts. It does not look like shying away from justice. I will still stand up for Black Lives Matter because I believe Black Lives Matter. I will still preach the gospel because I believe in the gospel. I will still conduct my life in line with my morals and what I understand to be truth and what I understand to be the will of God. And I am learning and will find ways to do it without any gloat, without any snark. We have a little visitor. See our little, did it get away? Sorry. This little bird was so cute. We're being called to find a new way. We're being called to find a new way as a people. And it's not a new call. God's always had this call for us to rise above it, the fray, the rudeness, the unkindness. God's always had a call for us to look towards peace and hope and reconciliation, to look upon each other with empathy. And that's, for me, been easy when I think of empathy as people who have less than me. Borders on sympathy, which gets a little bit in the icky space. It's been much harder for me to look with empathy upon people who have more than me. And yet, they are God's children too. They are every bit as worthy of our love, empathy, reconciliation, and forgiveness. So I will echo the call that I heard last night. I will echo that tells us to be kind and gentle and to reconcile. And some of us, this is what we've been calling for all along, what we've been marching for, what we've been showing up and activating for. Don't let it stop now. Now that you feel you've won a victory, now that I feel I've won a victory, is not the time to put down our gentleness and pick up our pitchforks. Now is the time to put our bodies where our mouths are, to put our money where our mouth is, to put our hearts where our mouth is. Now's the time to prove we are who we say we are, to let our actions live out our words. I believe that if we can do that, be a lot more love. You know the song, right? What the world needs now, love, sweet love. You know, and the world tells us to get revenge. The world tells us to snark. The world tells us to, well, we've had it bad this time, so now we're going to give them what for. There's another way. There's another way that's more beautiful and more true and more hopeful and more loving. It's time to heal. It's time to reconcile. It's time to move on. The sunrise always reminds me that there's a new day. I hope you will find your sacred space today. I hope you will find your moments of peace, your moments that remind you who you are and whose you are. I hope that you will find it in yourself to love, heal, and forgive. Grace and peace, friends.